Hello and welcome to another week of the Abusecartoons Livestream. I guess you miss a week and you lose all ability to do this. A little out of practice, I suppose. So how is everyone doing? Oh man, so yeah, hope everyone's hanging in there. This is the rough part of the year where it's just cold and dark in most places. So let's see. All right. Everything else is working, just not the sound. Well, this angle's not going to do it. There we go. Yeah, so hope everyone is doing well. I was just drawing this cartoon to make up for last week, so don't have a lot of ideas. Oh, protective goggles. There we go. Yeah, so schedule's been a mess. So trying to get back onto something a little bit more normal. Almost streamed Tuesday, but I'm sure that would have been a confusing nightmare, so I stopped myself from doing it and saved it for today, just in case people still have this in their heads as a time to look for this this live stream. All right, so yeah, we'll just do like this to get the point across. Yeah, this is where I always screw up. So let me try to do the same angle. Yep. Actually, maybe goggles? We're going to just do protective eyewear. Straps are easier to draw. Yeah, let's see. Let's try these as goggles and see if they look any better. Yeah, so this year is starting out. We've had some more, not as big, but we've had more earthquakes in Japan. So it's been a rumbly new year. The last one was kind of local, so that was surprising. But on this little archipelago, they can happen anywhere. And it's scarier when the big ones happen out in the sea, because then that sometimes makes the sea move around and you get the big tidal waves. Oh yeah, no one's ever asked me what tsunami is in English. It would be tidal wave, but I've never had that conversation. That's just the word they use. Oh, so maybe a little bit more extended. Yeah, like this. Yeah, they've got all the weather words, and especially rain words, locked down here. It's like Eskimos, or that's a derived, it's like Inuit. It's like indigenous people in the Arctic, and snow. I don't even know what words to say anymore. I'm sure that's a no word on YouTube. But yeah, whatever you have the most weather, most kind of weather of, you have the most words for, because you notice the the little differences. Ugh, what was I saying about the strap being easier? Actually, not so thick, I think, is easier. Oh, sorry, I gotta keep an eye on the chat as well. I'm not doing much of anything. Hey, True Help, how's it going? Good after morning. Yes, an appropriately odd time for a cartoon live stream. Yeah, I hope everyone is doing well. Good to see you, True Help. Yeah. Something like that. I guess it can just be the battle of the protective eyewear. Wow, that's actually one of the few drawings I've done that when you flip it, it doesn't look completely insane. Like, so the little arms on the glasses look a little bit better. Maybe like, oh, I can do this with the shadow. Yeah, I don't think I should do that in the line work. It's too heavy. I'll do that when I do the shadow part, the shading. Okay, let's do protective eyewear. That's weird. Or one of them should be 3D glasses. Okay, this is not great. Let's try this one more time. All right. All right. Something like that. Yeah, that feels a little bit better. All right. Well, there we go. Our first cartoon of the day. Yeah, we may as well put some color on this and see how it looks. So we'll just go, actually, let's go kind of a bluish, plasticky color here. Just so it's not pure white, because the background is oppressively white. And then maybe a warmer color here. And then we can go like this. All right, there we go. Maybe like just a actual. Yeah, what I'm trying to think of what colors I've seen elastic. Just like a blue, like a dark blue, kind of construction equipment elastic. All right. Sure, we'll do something like that. Nice. Yeah, good to be back. It was, it's always frustrating when I can feel the schedule closing in on me for the week. It's funny how fast things have been going. Weeks have just been flying by, trying to get everything in there. I thought once I stopped doing that audiobook, I would have more free time, but I guess not. That was only like an hour or so a night. And didn't free up anything. And I guess I was more motivated to get that done in little bits. So it was kind of easy just to stick to it, but it's not a lot of extra time. All right, so let's try to get this looking a little more three-dimensional here. So the kind of inside of these. Yeah, I think it's better to do this more subtle. As a shadow than just big blocks of color. Yeah, I think that works. Safety glass. Oh, and this will be all dark. Oh, that'll be good. We can do like a... come on. I guess I left something open here. Go. Yeah, that works. And then we'll do like this style to show some glass like, and I'll do that in white on the other one. Yeah, so maybe like here. plastic. Oh, maybe here. Oh, there was a crazy news story in Japan. A man collapsed in the street, was taken to the hospital and found to be riddled with cancer, and like stage 4 inoperable cancer. He was in his 70s. And before he passed, he claimed to be, and if you've been to a Japanese train station or post office or anything ever in your life, you know this guy's face. He's been on a poster since the 60s, involved in a domestic terrorism group that bombed were like attacking globalist countries, going after people that countries that were doing business. At that time, I think they were protesting like Southeast Asia and Hong Kong and things like that. Kind of the beginning of the wonderful global economy we're living in. But so they bombed a few company offices. I don't know the details so well, but he's been wanted forever. He's been on like the most wanted list, and his picture has been everywhere in Japan forever. So he claimed to be this guy, and there's no verification. I think they're going to do, since his passing, and I'm not sure if he has any relatives or anybody has stepped forward, but since his passing, they're going to, I think, do a DNA, and that would probably have to be with surviving relatives. But they're going to check if he is actually who he says he is. But he announced, and he said he wants to die, as who he, in his real name or real identity, because I guess he left the country and was living abroad and kind of hiding under an assumed name for a long time, and came back to Japan to die. Yeah, it was very odd. But there's a lot of people that are suspicious that this is just some, nut job wanting to have some, just some mentally ill person just wanting to have some notoriety or something. But you're not really going to be able to enjoy it when you are passing away. But that would be very odd. That would be very surprising. Someone that was able to, for more than 60 years, evade authorities. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what the results. I'll report back with the results. But I don't know if it turns out to be him. That's really crazy. And so it wasn't a government attack. It was a company-based attack. I'm sure they weren't happy with the government either. But I thought that was quite a story. This guy just shows up out of nowhere, and then that picture is on the news, and everybody knows that face. All right. The battle of protective eyewear. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. That's happened a few times with Yakuza members that they've been seeking. They leave the country. They live in like Thailand and places. But sometimes when they're identified, they're extradited. I think it was Thailand. It was either Thailand or Vietnam. Japan has an extradition treaty with them, so they were able to take them out of the country. So I wonder where this guy was. I mean, I guess we'll never know. But I wonder where he was staying. Oh, I haven't even drawn anything here. Yeah, I guess I should have waited to color until I had two ideas. Now I feel very, very intimidated by this big white box of nothing. Yeah, but those, there's these famous photos of those people involved in that kind of domestic. So that was not the first, but the first maybe biggest post-war event. A lot of protests in the 60s. There were a lot of student protests and things, just like there were everywhere in the world at that time. And there's these faces that have been on these wanted posters forever. And now we know one of them. And yeah, I guess, that's funny because it literally has been 60 years of these people being wanted. And if that means they were 20 plus 60. Yeah, they're all going to be in their 70s and 80s. So if they're outside the country, they're not doing great. Yeah, it's interesting if they get some information, they have some, contact with somebody that knew him or somebody that knew him abroad, because that's definitely going to become a movie or at least a novel in Japan. I'm sure that story would be really popular. And since he's dead, you don't have to worry about him benefiting from his crimes. But very interesting sudden for him to suddenly show up. All right, try something like this. I always have the tab sticking up. There we go. I think this needs a little bit of... yeah, I've got my tablet at such a weird angle. I think it's distorting my drawings a little bit. Try that a little more straight up and down. Yeah, so that was crazy. So what else? Oh yeah, and the writer of the manga committed, I can't say this word on YouTube, but unlived themselves. Unalived themselves. Yeah, the manga artist Hinako Ashihara was found not living after her. So her manga was Sexy Tanaka-san, and it was getting a adaptation, a TV version was coming out. And she worked with the screenwriter. So 50 years old, and was working in with the screenwriter to produce it. And her stipulation was she wanted this to be a very accurate representation of the manga because her fans, demanded it, or she felt very serious about the project. And I'm sure she wasn't getting paid anything, but it turned out that the TV writer made some big changes when it finally aired, and she expressed some unhappiness with that on social media. And I don't know, some people were saying there was bullying, but yeah, she deleted. So she was on Twitter criticizing the Nippon, the NTV adaptation, and not faithful to the manga, which had been a condition of the production. And then she posted an apology saying, "I didn't mean to attack, I'm sorry." And early in that afternoon, she was reported missing the same day and found unalive the next day. Yeah, I think she apologized and then took down her social media, or maybe her complaints off of social media. And so, yeah, in 2020, there was another kind of social media-based unaliving. Hana Kimura, I think she was a former wrestler. She was on that reality show, Terrace House, that Japanese reality show, and she got bullied. I don't know what that was about, but maybe just criticized. Oh, no, that's right. I think in her case, it was they edited the show to kind of make her the heel, to kind of make her the bad guy, so that they had their tension on the show. And it's really mild. Like the Japanese reality shows are so funny because people don't confront each other. They don't scream and shout. So it's really hard to get conflict. So maybe they have to really, really go all out and make it, it's very difficult. So people were upset with that and they didn't accept that or didn't take that well. And so she was, because people are that simple. They think reality television is reality. They even think, the actors, the characters that actors play in movies are really them. If you play a murderer, then you're a bad guy in a movie. So she, there was a previous ASO 4 years ago. That was the same sort of thing. So that's really sad. So we'll see. Oh, wow. So people have been calling the screenwriter, I believe, let's see, make sure I have this right. Yeah, the screenwriter, Tomoko Aizawa. Yeah, she drafted the screenplay. They've been calling her a murderer online. Oh my God. Japanese internet is crazy because there's such a strict, kind of the nail that sticks up gets hammered down kind of mentality here. Oh my God. So people, are even more righteous because they're not defending some fake belief or some, weird thing that they've made up. They are defending like the norms, the social norms of Japan, the kind of rules and etiquette of Japan. So they have something that they are kind of concretely defending. It's not just I'm good and you're bad. It's no, you don't do these things. It's more the mentality. Yeah, it's crazy. So it's very sad. We'll see. Oh, wow. Nippon Television owns Hulu Japan. That's why Hulu Japan is so terrible. Oh, and they're in the process of buying a controlling stake in Studio Ghibli. Oh, that's not good. That means all the Ghibli movies will be on Japanese Hulu? Ugh. Yikes. I didn't know that. All right. What else are we doing here? Let's see. Oh, I should, bring Twitch up. See if it's actually being recorded. There we go. Hey, what do you know? There's actually some Twitch. Oh, sorry, I haven't been highlighting the broadcast either. Twitch is a little out of date. What are you gonna do? All right. So, yeah, I just don't have the the ass for Twitch. I just can't sit for that long, that many times a week, and make Twitch happy. Yikes. All right. What are we doing here? Yeah, so those are the two big stories that people have been talking about here. I don't know if that stuff makes it to the international news. Oh, there was also a police profiling case. There were 3 naturalized Japanese citizens of foreign descent, of foreign birth, but they became naturalized citizens that complained that the police were harassing them. And yes, definitely, I can attest to that. I've seen multiple, not myself and other people. The police do harass foreigners, but it's they're trying to maintain the low levels of crime and shenanigans here, and it's not a crazy assumption that the foreigners are going to be involved in the drug imports and the human trafficking and all that stuff, because I'm sure there's Japanese components to it, but the foreigners are involved. So I've definitely seen it, and it comes, it feels very xenophobic, very racist, the way they handle things here. But I don't know, it's hard to, I mean, this is, one of the few homogenous cultures left where the culture is actually strong. It's not the government, it's the culture that's actually strong, that's kind of, that kind of unifies things. It's not, people aren't racially, homogenous here, but they are culturally. But there's still, a lot of, xenophobia and kind of racist thinking. People, react to skin color and stuff strongly here. But these three guys sued the police. What's going on here? Those three guys sued the police. One I saw was Pakistani, originally from Pakistan. I'm not sure about the other two, but they probably work in tech or IT here, and probably make a good living, and want to feel part of what's going on because they gave up their citizenship of birth to be here, or to stay here, and it does feel like a weird betrayal. But the cops, I mean, they're very simple here. If you don't look Japanese, and even if you look Japanese and you look like a certain type, they're definitely going to harass you. It's not as nuanced, and there's not the class, race based problems here that there are in other countries. So they just go right after you, and it sucks. It makes you feel terrible. But yeah, that's just, I don't think suing, and they only got like $10,000 or something. It was a very small award. So I don't think that's going to change anything. But the article said that, it was an AP Newswire actually, that said, in the lawsuit they claimed, this violates treaties that Japan has signed on human rights and stuff. I don't know. Yeah, it's difficult. Like the policing situation here is very different because, unlike the U.S., like the only people that have guns here are the police, and they have so that they don't get their guns stolen all the time, they literally have like a metal safety cable like attached to the gun belt. So you see the holsters, and there's a big, if you used like a shared computer or something at some workspace, and it has that steel cable like bolted to the table so you don't run off with the laptop. It's those sort of measures. So it's pretty crazy. But I don't know. I don't think it's going to be an easy thing to solve, and Japan is going to have a lot of trouble as it starts to look, as Japanese citizens start to look more diverse. I think it's going to be an interesting, and which leads into one more piece of news. See, 2 weeks gone, and there's so much to talk about. Yeah, so police, so some foreigners, not foreigners, some naturalized citizens won a case of police profiling, and I don't even know what prefecture it was. I'm imagining it was probably Tokyo. So Japan is going to have to be up against it, dealing with people starting to look different. Let's do something silly, bubblegum cigarettes and cotton candy. Yeah, let's do this. But speaking of people looking like foreigners, the Miss Japan was just recently crowned, and she is a naturalized citizen as well from Ukraine. So looks very different from the other competitors. The very small face, but that's like still even Japanese models that are kind of international fashion models. They have that European look as well. That small face, it's a long legs, small face kind of thing. And that's what she looks like. But she was crowned Miss Japan, but she's full Ukrainian. So I don't know, because the last kind of controversy that Japan had with Miss Japan was half. There was a half African. I think she was not African American or Canadian, but like African and Japanese. that was the last kind of what's going on. But I think the older generation, the really old, like hardcore generation is not. There are not many of them left, so it's mostly the baby boomers, and they're a bit more accepting of the world changing. Let's see. Let's do like a bright yellow or something. So there was less outcry than I think there would have been, and plus old people aren't on the internet. They have to write letters of complaint. So yeah, I think the really traditionalists, the really like what's happening to our country people are gone. The World War II generation. These are all children born after the post-war. But yeah, I don't know. But it's funny. I mean, Japan has to deal with this. With looking different, but and it'll be a real test for the like I was saying. It's the culture that unifies the country. It's everybody agreeing on a common culture, not a common. Not a common race, but it is a look. It is like still there is. A Japanese beauty aesthetic and a Japanese look, and the traditional clothing, kimono and things are made for a certain body type and look, markedly different on other body types. So we'll see. We'll see how they do. Yeah, they've had, historically, like, from the war, from the 30s on, or probably even before that, kind of war era, Japan has had a really bad reputation of dealing with foreigners because they were all about forced labor, debt trap, forced labor kind of stuff where people are basically prisoners, either economic or, actually legally controlled by the state or the military, and were forced to work in, like mining operations and things. So, and even recent history, Japan has had programs where they've tried to, I think they're doing better in some places, but, have tried to make programs for Southeast Asians and things to participate in agriculture and, industries where they need manpower, and they're kind of like a little bit light on it. And still, these companies can't help, and maybe it's just corruption, maybe it's just, interference by kind of bad people, but they just can't resist exploiting people. And I guess it's, it's very, Japanese kind of, the work ethic that people accept here is pretty hardcore. And a lot of foreign people aren't going to be down for that. They're not going to see, and I think even the younger generations here wouldn't, the economic miracle of the 60s in Japan would not happen again with this current crop of losers. Sorry. But they still kind of impose those ideals, on foreign workers. And so the working conditions and stuff are particularly miserable, but they see that as, do you want to be here, you got to do that. Then there still is a lot of really miserable things that just the average like office worker in Japan has to go through, real grueling schedule stuff and things. So then if we're talking about labor, physical labor, I'm sure it's even worse what they think they can do to you. So yeah, they haven't had a great history with that, so they're going to have to get that figured out. Although I have read articles about there are certain like towns in kind of in this near this neck of the woods, Mie, I think is the prefecture. They have a lot of factory towns, kind of old school factory towns, based on certain companies, kind of situation, and all of the employees are foreign born, so all of the students at the schools are, or a lot of the students at the schools are half, they're either full something or half something, and it's completely normal. And then you just kind of ask each other what you are, Japanese and what, or Japanese, because I'm sure. So they've had more in recent times, more successful programs. It sounds like, but you never know. But yeah, that's the thing with especially in elder care, and there's a lot of the lower paying in manufacturing and things, the lower paying jobs that they definitely are going to need help with as the population decreases. Yeah, let's do these here. Cotton candy soda and bubblegum cigarettes. There we go. Are having trouble looking cool. Well, I think I'll just write it right now. I don't think it's going to get better than that. Okay. We're having trouble looking cool. Is that an exclamation point? Okay, let's not do that. Having serious trouble. There we go. They were having serious trouble looking cool. Let's go with that. So K5 hasn't been on. I think work schedule and the times that I stream are miserable. K5 hasn't been on in a while on this stream, but I saw some pictures on Facebook of a very good looking little guy. So K6, K5.1 is looking good. So happy papa. So congrats again, K5, on making that family. All right. Oh boy. Well, we'll do that one later. I have no idea. I can't think of a good safety goggles joke. Can you? Let's see here. Oh, sorry, I'm missing a question here. Hey, Countdown. It is incredibly easy getting a job as an English teacher here. And I notice I didn't say good job, and notice I didn't say well-paying job, because those don't exist anymore. There's a lot of shady companies that it's just they expect you to be garbage. So most of the time they hire a lot of. So mostly the biggest problem is it's a lot of people straight out of university and have never had jobs before, and they're not serious. They want to come here and earn a little, have a visa to stay and party for a while and have drinking money and just go, chase girls on maybe every night, but hopefully just on the weekends, and drink and just, have kind of continue their university lifestyle. So the expectations and the behavior of the companies is pretty bad. Students flake and just, or not students, teachers just flake and go home and everything. So that means the companies, the English teaching companies, have gotten worse and worse here with how they treat people, how they pay people, because they've been just hiring the kind of bottom of the barrel. And they've even been dipping into like non-native English speakers. I've seen a lot of African, Filipino, and, a lot of teachers that aren't native English speakers that are hired to teach because they can pay them less. But yeah, it's there's a lot of recruiters a lot of recruiters that recruit in your home country. So, in English speaking Australia and England and Canada and America, a lot of these companies recruit. And so if you can endure kind of a crappy job and just want to check out Japan, it's an easy way to do it. It's a good way to do it because you get a visa, and you're not worrying about breaking the law or getting deported or anything. But the working conditions and the training and everything is terrible. And a lot of your coworkers are, idiots because they've never really worked in an office setting before. So they're kind of like, tin pot dictators and stuff. The management, the little bit of teaching that I did here. Oh, the one manager, I think he was like a former Radio Shack, manager or something. He was such an ass. It was amazing. Some of the emails I would get from him. It's like this would have been if it would have been an American company, I could have annihilated him with, harassment, power harassment and crappy treatment of employees. But the labor laws and stuff aren't super protective here. But yeah. Yeah, it's worth it. Just don't take it seriously and don't take it personally how bad it is. It's not a reflection on you, the company. And but there's a lot of opportunities, but a lot of the underserved, if you want to go to Tokyo or Osaka, is a lot more competitive, of course, but the cost of living is a lot higher. But if you're okay with a suburb or a countryside kind of thing, it's probably very easy because they desperately need the native teachers have just become a standard in public schools and things, and they used to direct hire them, but they gave that up once these asshole foreigners started suing the Japanese school districts because, the work is hard. The work is, teachers are expected to, work ridiculously hard. But they're also kind of ridiculously lazy because they're kind of government employees. So it's kind of this weird postal worker kind of teacher thing, the work ethic. So I'm rambling about nothing, but yeah, there's a lot of companies hiring, so it's easy. Just be careful, go on social media or Reddit or something. Probably there's a lot of people hanging out on Reddit, and just ask around what other companies, because I have been out of the game for so long. I have no idea who's good and who's not. The big ones are Nova and ECC, and I don't know who another big one would be. But those are the ones that have studios everywhere, or classrooms everywhere. So the better situations are, what's it called? It's like out hire, like you sign up with a company, they kind of vet you, and then they assign you to a school. So public or private school, junior high school or high school usually. Those are usually the best situations and pay the best. And then working for what they call the Eikawa, the classroom kind of thing, is really unpredictable, really underpaid. You put in a lot of hours. You don't do a lot of work. You just kind of sitting around a lot. And waiting for kind of, them to build up classrooms of students. And they, because the way that some of these English companies that have their own classrooms teach things or do things as very much like a gym membership. So they make you pay all up front, but it's really cheap if you go to every lesson that that you've paid for, but people usually don't. So you just got a lot of teachers sitting on their hands, and stuff. So, but then the teachers flake, or they've got hangovers or whatever, so they don't show up. So my co-host on the weekly on Upturned Table, Chris, has a lot of experience with managing the unmanageable. So and so there'll probably be an interview, like if you're hired remotely or hired kind of from your home country, then to come to Japan, they'll probably do like a video conferencing kind of interview. So don't say that you want to come to Japan for manga and anime, because that's what everybody says. Come up with an original, compelling idea, and and you get attention, because everyone says, I like manga and anime, so I want to come to Japan. That's what Chris has told me. Cool. Oh, countdown. That's awesome. The transparency. Thank you. Very good. Oh, I like the transparency. Oh, thank you so much. That's brilliant. Yeah, but if you're curious about it, yeah, just look around online. I haven't. I couldn't recommend. I guess like secondhand. Oh, I don't even remember the guys that do the dictionaries seem to be possibly an okay company. But most of the big guys suck. They treat you badly, and all of their management is jerks that have not had real jobs and are just like running their little fiefdoms in Japan. And if they have any Japanese management, then those guys, like I was talking about before, Japanese people don't manage foreigners well. They don't treat them well. But a lot of people like, teaching English is a good way to get into Japan. And if you have any programming or IT experience, then you can kind of jump over to that side of the job market. And it pays much better, a lot better jobs. And you can work for, real big companies that aren't going to destroy you, with work schedules and things. It'll be more like a traditional white collar job. But yeah, if you're interested, yeah, good luck. Just ask around because there's a lot of people. But people are really negative, though. I think because they've had, for a lot of people, this is their first work experience, and they're amazed by how much you have to work at work. There's a lot of people that have really weird expectations. So any of the difficulties that they have, they've kind of exaggerated. It ain't that bad, but they're not, because they weren't really here to work anyhow. They were just here to have some fun, and they're harshen the vibe by trying to make you work. But yeah, it's a surprisingly easy way. But I would, if you're genuinely interested in Japan, come here and go to graduate school. I would recommend doing that as opposed to teaching English. It's a real, because the kind of, because of the low expectations of these companies, the trash of the world, the trash of the English speaking world just washes up on the shores of Japan. And there's a lot of real losers here, real mental patients and all kinds of nonsense you have to deal with. And in the expat community. But if you're genuinely interested, because there's a lot of programs, sorry, I'm off mic. There's a lot of programs in the graduate schools at the big universities here that you can take in English. And you can basically do the coursework in English. So if you don't have a huge interest in Japanese, you'll probably learn, enough survival Japanese to function just by absorption. But if you don't want to have to read and write Japanese for your coursework, there's a lot of graduate schools that offer English-based curricula. So yeah, I would recommend doing that as opposed to teaching English here. If that's, if you have an undergraduate degree, and that's the thing, you need an undergrad degree. Just a bachelor's of anything. I had a BFA I guess I had an MFA, but it was a fine arts degree. And I was teaching English, so it's pretty low bar for yeah, to pass. But yeah, you do need to have finished your undergrad. But they're not going to check. That's the other thing too. The strange thing, the thing that I have always found weird about Japan and the reprobates that they hire for teachers is they don't do criminal background checks here. That's really scary. I think Korea and like Singapore and some of the other, maybe Taiwan, they're the places that hire native English speakers. They do, criminal background checks. They want to make sure you don't have any drug arrests or have any molestations, sex crimes, because they don't want you around their kids if you've been, doing terrible things to kids in your home country. But Japan doesn't check. Yeah, I don't know. That sucks. I think that's really, I haven't heard any like huge consequence because of that, but that still shocks me that these people have access to public school kids and you don't entirely know what they were up to before they got here. But that may have changed as well too. Like I said, I'm out of it. I'm out of date. So search some current opinion. So the long answer for yes, it is easy. Just not fun. Oh, nice. Countdown. Those are really good. Really good. Oh, man. All right. So let's switch over to the comments. See, I'm procrastinating getting anything written. All right. So what are we doing here? We are doing February. Sorry, I got to find my... What? Wait, what? I thought I had that open. Oh, maybe it's open here. Yeah, there we go. Well, let's see the start February 1st, 2018. We're getting through it. We're holding back the year, getting through the years here. There we go. So s'more joke, right? No, potato. That's right. No, it's a chocolate covered potato chip joke. All right. So February 1st, 2018. He couldn't quite put the pieces together. So yeah, potatoes, chocolate, salt, yummy. All right. So somebody is melting chocolate. Oh yeah, doing a potato chip recipe. In your first basket, not oh, there you go. It's like a cooking show competition, right? Now I'm waiting for to post a recipe. I guess there's someone notorious for posting recipes. Yummy. All right. Cool. All right. February continues. Come on. There we go. February 6th. Oh, lunches. The lunchroom was shaken by the sudden fluctuation in exchange rate of apples to chocolate pudding. Ba-bum. Lunchroom economy. Yeah, I wonder if that's even a thing anymore. Like kids are on such weird stuff going on. I wonder if people do swap their fruit for sweets and stuff anymore. Yeah, that was trading stuff in the lunchroom was always fun because there's like stuff your parents didn't buy. So other kids' parents did, and maybe they didn't like that. They didn't like it very well. So they kind of had a weakness. You had an opening. If you had like fruit roll-ups, that was a good currency to trade for anything. You get even something that was legitimately unhealthy. Lunchtime. All right, February 8th. Look at all these parcels. Look at all this drawing. One of them should not have been marked first class mail. Oh, low class mail. It used to be. Uh-oh. Did I spell something wrong? I'm sure I did. Oh, yeah. Oh, maybe I totally rewrote this joke because I did something wrong. Huh, it used to be. Huh, I don't know. That might be referring to something that I edited. February 13th, 2018. Even their favorite toys, found kids exhausting. Kids are exhausting. All right. February 15th. The first library book into the return. Always regretted it. Yeah, do they... are libraries even a thing anymore? But yeah, the book drop. I always thought the giant, like, chunky mailbox. That was the book return or the book drop that, if it was a library that had stairs or whatever, the drop would be at the bottom of the stairs to save you some walking. But I always like putting those books in there and hearing them hit. You're just like, oh, that's not doing anything for the condition of those books. February 20th. Only one of them was a practical choice for communication. So a smartphone, a telephone, and a banana. Let me guess, the banana phone. All right, February 22nd. The joy of sharing had now become the nightmare of constant monitoring and data collection. The joy of sharing. Big Brother storing all our data. And listening, too. That's a funny thing. I guess, by 2018, that was already common knowledge, too. But, the Android, I'm not sure Apple is quite as bad, but Google, man, they listen to everything and then they convert it to text and then they store it. That's insane. So your Google file has everything you've ever said near your phone, converted from speech to text. All right, February 27th, unless you've opted out, right? Didn't they do that? Did they let you opt out at some point? So 27th, it wasn't only the customers that found the food heavy. Oh, look, it fell right through. I guess I should have made that a little more jagged so it looked like a splintered counter, but really hot sauce. All right. There's a counterattack. Oh, that's good. Counterattack. Nice, Antman. All right. Oops. March 1st. They were dealing with a powerful 8-year-old or an immortal. I easily amuse myself. You've heard of the Terrible Twos. Meet the Lazy Eights. Oh, that's nice. A young immortal. To infinity and beyond. Nice. All right, March 6th. They were suspicious that one of them still contained pens. So a cup, and a hard case. And yeah, this is very Japanese too. I don't think there's any pencil cases that look like this abroad, but Japan has all these little zipper pen cases. They're very common because you can buy really expensive, mechanical pencils and pens here, so people keep them safe. March 8th, creativity was no substitute for butter. The Sharpie standing in for my creativity. It can be in a comic. Thank you, Chromosome. All right, March 13th. There were long-forgotten kids' versions of Adult Vice. Oh, that's so funny. That's exactly what I did wow. So, 6 years ago, I had the exact same idea. So yeah, Big League Chew, root beer, and bubblegum cigarettes. Nice. So I've already drawn this cartoon. I'm just now repeating myself. Is it time to stop? Nice. Do they even make candy cigarettes anymore? In Japan, they do. You can buy them online. Usually they call them candy sticks now. Look, our cigars haven't changed. Interesting. Yeah, that's right. Maybe they are, because, they made candy cigarettes because everyone's parents smoked, so the kids could be cool and smoke, have something for that oral fixation. But, yeah, I'm sure they don't call them cigarettes anymore. That's funny. Yeah, but they have those little, I think I showed you guys those super old, like maybe 70-year-old candy cigarette brand in Japan. They taste like chocolate. They look like chalk, but they taste like chocolate. Very funny. All right, March 15th. Unable to choose, he decided to remain neat. Ha. Snowball's chance. Yeah, he couldn't decide between a round ice cube. I guess I should have made that look a little more transparent so it didn't look like a snowball. Round ice cube or cubes. A spherical ice cube? No. March 20th. It turned out that an expiration date wasn't just a number. The milk is yucky. I still remember, I know I've told this story a bunch, but when we all unfortunately arrived in Los Angeles and we just went for something to eat one of those first mornings, we went to Denny's, and my brother, still pretty young, like 20 or something, wanted a big glass of milk with his pancakes, and so ordered a glass of milk at a Denny's. And I don't know how they got through pouring this milk, because it obviously came out of a carton. I don't know how they poured out of this carton and didn't notice the slop of the milk, but they poured him a big glass of just milk, like cheese curds in milk. It was just such a, yeah. So he took one sip. He's like, whoa. And it was just chunks of rotten milk in a glass. I don't know how that got out to the table. That's amazing. Maybe they just don't want to say, sorry, we don't have any milk. But yeah, somebody poured him a rotten glass of milk. Welcome to Los Angeles. March 22nd, a block of cheese as a gift was not so much practical as it was concerning and constipating. I love getting blocks of cheese. Well, there we go. See, I found the one person that loves cheese. Everyone's defending cheese. I gotta be careful. There's Wisconsinites, and I gotta be careful what I say about cheese. But here, cheese is a villain. I think in most of Asia. So you notice a lot of Asian food isn't like crazy. I guess Koreans use cheese maybe more than a lot of other Asian cultures. But cheese isn't like crazy because Asian people get constipated easily, and cheese is good at doing that. So yeah, cheese is not good. Anyhow, that was the medical that was the medical minute. The culturally different medical minute. Okay, March 27th. At some point in history, all cultures had to contend with the sandwich. So yeah, this is a Japanese teacup and the ashioki and the chopsticks. I give. What's a little bent gray thing? Oh, somebody knows. Somebody knows. Does somebody know? Ceramic chopstick holder. Yeah. I googled it. One of the odd deck you can get plain ones too. Yeah, I vote for chopstick holder. Yeah, it is. But it's called. Isn't it called? I don't know what's it called. But just a rest, because chopsticks get you don't want them touching a tabletop. So hashioki, yeah. A hashioki. Used to keep chopsticks. Oh, I hate this now that Google's first search result is a AI generated bunch of bullshit. To keep the eating but the part that goes in your mouth, basically. Okay. Sorry. All right. Yeah, so many things I've not seen written, so I miss here. Oh, I'm sure like a little kid, I've got some funny words that I've misheard. To keep them. 6 years later, I respond. All right, let's keep it going. March 29th. Oh, come on. Try it again. Ooh, there we go. The only comfort was that the flaming shot would eventually contain less alcohol. Nice, a flaming shot. Like that smoke, the smoke settling over the others. Oh, here we go. A Japanese spring image, April 3rd. We'll finish up April to February, March, April. They combined the best of public drinking and nature appreciation into one dynamic seasonal package. Nice. Yes, drinking under the cherry blossoms. April 5th. Oh, this is so Japanese. Yeah, I'm all in, I guess, at this point. Jeez. Every reference I'm making is like super foreign to any other culture. Only the box knew what recycling actually involved. Yeah, these innocent yeah, that's a shocking image for me a lot of the time. So they make the very disposable manga, the weekly, very fat manga printed on just this really low-grade newsprint and kind of printed with half ink. So it's not even very rich detailed colors. It's kind of like a spotty kind of faded image on the paper. It's not very well reproduced. And so you just bundle those up like, old newspapers or whatever, bundle those up and put those out. But people also do that with hardback books and, all kinds of, mass market fiction and stuff. So you see these little bundles of tied books sitting near the trash in Japan. I always feel so sad. I want to take them to a bookstore. It's like, I want them just to get shredded. But I guess they will get shredded to make more of those cheap comics. Dr. McCoy was right. Being disintegrated and reintegrated doesn't mean you'll be the same. Star Trek reference. Ah, nice. All right. And April 10th, the wastebasket knew he would play an uncomfortable role in the Paper Cups feature. Yeah, it's all about trash. A bunch of trash jokes. April 12th. He had not really resolved anything in regard to the towel versus tissue debate. They didn't really get much done there. All right. April 17th. Oh, here's more. Stylus versus Sharpie. Driver incompatibility and a failed software update made one of them no longer a pen. Nice. If it doesn't suck ink from a bottle, it isn't a real pen. Exactly, Tato. You know it. April 19th. Springtime always found him deciding between iced and hot partners. He's a bagel. Look at him. April 24th. Their best work was always collaborative. Look at that. Look at that corn dog. And April 26th. He gave them all a false sense of sweetness. Artificial sugar. And yeah, we'll stop at May 1st. None of them identified as either condiment or ingredient. All right, so we'll pick it up there. Yikes, back to the drawing. Yeah, so, wow. 2018, I was all in on the being inspired by Japan, but that makes for a very cryptic and hard to understand cartoon. Yeah, I guess I should have marketed this to one of the free papers in Japan, the English publications of free papers. That might have gone over better. Sorry if I missed any comments there. There we go. All right. Yeah, the combined chat thing is not great. All right. Oh, I got to write the, I like the transparency. Goggle. So I like the protective eyewear. But transparency is good, or overprotective. In most, is that a hyphenated overprotective? Maybe. In most situations, they came across as overprotective. Let me just check if that needs a hyphen. It's hyphen rules are not anything to be hyphenated. Dictionary is making it one word. Oh, I guess I should ask one word or two. Jeez. And always, the answer to that is always, yeah. Both, whatever. So Cambridge wants it one word. I want overprotective. Oh, fuck off. Yeah. I want a synonym. I want the spelling. So Merriam-Webster says one word. We'll go with one word. Yeah. Yeah, it's the thing that's bad about especially Google is it just has everything on it. So anytime people misspell stuff, if you use Google to check spelling, there are tons of people misspelling things on on the internet. So you're going to get some validation for your horrible spelling. I guess that's like everything, every paranoid medical condition, everything is all verified on the internet. In most situations, they came across as overprotective eyewear. Let's check that spelling. Oh, it doesn't like eyewear as one word, huh? Oh, that's one I didn't think of. Oh, I guess, no, I think eyewear is one word. Yeah, eyewear is one word. Yeah, there's no... Yeah, well, what? Oh. I'm not going to rely on the Photoshop dictionary to be very up-to-date here. Eyewear is a noun. That's all I know. It is one word. Screw you, Photoshop. In most situations, they came across as overprotective eyewear. Like parents. There's two of them. I don't know. It's not very good. Transparency is much better. All right. And then cotton candy soda and bubblegum cigarettes. We're having trouble. We're having serious trouble looking cool. Yep. All right. That one works. This one's weak. Yeah, like the overprotective eyewear. Yeah. Both compound words. All right. They came across as overprotective eyewear. I think that's going to do it. It's almost time for some sweet potatoes. It's so funny. I grew up hating sweet potatoes just because of how they were always prepared. So it's funny that it's actually somewhat enjoyable in Japan. The sweet potato French fries and stuff. Oh, good stuff. But we'll get to that in just a minute. So, come on. But first we'll do the exciting clicking around and saving the JPEGs. Yeah, that's really annoying. That I don't know what the idea is for having the AI search results on a search engine. I guess maybe, because that's what I heard is Google was going to be, basically destroyed, made obsolete by AI search. So maybe it's their attempt to, kind of head it off. It's like, no. Well, we've always had AI, so they included it as early as possible to fight off any competitors that might have a real, large language, natural language, text-to-speech kind of easy way to search the internet, which is not Siri. All right, boom. And we'll just revert this. Because it's cute and colorful. So if you'll give me another moment, I will FTP. Should have a song or a bumper or some kind of intro for the thrilling moment where I upload the files. You guys can't even see it. It's so amazing. Anybody that's FTP'd can tell you that. All right. So I guess we're going to a convenience store near you. All right. Let's give this a shot. Oh, welcome to the Family Mart. That's right. That's the Family Mart chime. So this week So I'm not quite sure what these are going to look like. I was thinking potato chip, but I'm thinking not, because they're talking a lot about dietary fiber on the package here. But here we have so Osatsu Doki. Osatsu Doki. So two flavors. So Uha, these are the guys that make the best, the company that make the best pineapple candy in the universe. These guys are doing some other snacks. So this is their two varieties of a sweet potato doki, and of course one is salty butter, and one is rich chocolate. So we've got chocolate and butter flavor. So where could you go wrong? And it's a Japanese sweet potato. So as you can see on the packaging here, Japanese sweet potato has a purple skin, and it's a really lightly sweet potato. So they do really nice stuff with it here. My experience with sweet potatoes as a kid was just candied yams, and yuck. I always hated them. So I was surprised how good these were. And they, in grilled vegetables, like yakiniku, they'll be included sometimes. And even in salads and things, you get little pieces of sweet potato. And they really are nice. They're a mild sweetness. We'll start with salty butter. And then, there's not anything crazy behind this. This is just a potato snack. But they do talk a bit about the dietary fiber, so I'm a little bit worried. I don't know. Maybe the market for this is older people. I don't know. Oh yeah, no, they're like chips. Yeah, they look very natural. They look very naturally like chips. Maybe sweet potato naturally is just a good source of fiber, and they're just like promoting that. Oh, this could be good. Look at that. That is just like a kettle chip slice of sweet potato. Oh, could be good. Yeah. The sweetness is so mild. It's nice. Yeah, this is really crunchy. They don't feel heavy, though. They don't feel super greasy. And not that real super fake butter or anything. And not even that salty. Maybe just enough to make the flavor a little more savory. These are nice. They feel more like air fried. So let's see if there's anything about oil or anything in the ingredients. They feel really light, so they may be some kind of dehydrated or air fried kind of chip. Very crunchy. Sorry if I'm crunching too much into the microphone. But the salty butter is not out of control. It's very, very subtle flavor. Yeah, it makes it very nice. It's not overpowering. Like, it's not a powder covering the whole thing where you're just like, too much. Or it's that, that flavor that, like Doritos and things, where you get that spike of flavor and you're like, oh, I need another one. I need another one. These are just a very mild. And these are definitely just a piece of sweet potato. Look at that. Yeah. Uha do some really nice stuff. I've liked everything. Just a really good sensibility, because the thing that makes their pineapple candy so amazing is they put a little bit of milk. So kind of like, cloudy, like a powdery extract from milk that softens the bite of the pineapple sourness, and so it makes it perfect. So the candy itself is a little cloudy because they do some kind of milk. So let's try. And they're saying that this is, it looks like a powder as well. If you see the front, it looks like it's going to be a similar thing. It's going to be a coating and not like dipped in chocolate. So this would be like a rich chocolate, but cocoa dusting or something. So, oh yeah, it smells like cocoa. Yeah, right away smells like hot chocolate. Yeah, just opening the bag, I was hit right away. Oh, these got a little bit beat up. I don't know if I have any intact. I think this was the last bag on the shelf, so maybe it got kicked around the store a little bit. But I wanted to try the chocolate. All right, so let's try. Yeah, wow, smells good. But I don't think I've had a chocolate flavored sweet potato before, so the combination might be a little odd. Let me see if I can get a. Oh no, these are just completely trashed. Oh, it's too bad. Yeah, sorry, this was the last one, so maybe some of the customers had beat on this, but here we go. So yeah, just the same kind of like slice of it's a little thinner. thinner cut than the other ones. Wow, you can smell the chocolate. You can smell it, but it's not super overpowering. It's not sweet. It's very light. Wow, very interesting. Yeah, I think this is definitely an adult type snack, and maybe this company is not super kid. They're an older company, so maybe they're not very kid oriented. Where that they make super sweet, very cheesy kind of snacks. Wow, this is really good. I wasn't expecting sweet potato and chocolate to be a great combination, but they did it the right way. Maybe a chocolate covered sweet potato would be kind of weird. Oh, it's just too bad these are all smashed. Yeah, here I can show you a little bit. Look at that. So it's just like there's not a single whole chip in there. So somebody just stood on these. That's too bad. But they still taste fine. Just a lot, and there's a lot more of them. Yeah, that's a kid song. That's a Japanese kid song. I'm not sure if it's... I've seen it shown, like an animated version of it shown with a mouse. I'm not sure if it's an actual mouse or it's just some person or some character. But a song is a counting song. And the character of the mouse, let's say it's a mouse, has a biscuit in his pocket. And he hits his pocket, and now he has 2 biscuits in his pocket. And he hits his pocket again, and then he has 4 biscuits in his pocket. So it's very humorous. He's just smashing a biscuit in his pocket, but he thinks he's making more of them. So yeah, look at this. I can just need a spoon to eat these with. That's too bad. Yeah, I wonder if the because like I said, the thickness is very different. So I wonder if that is it. Yeah. Very. I don't know if you can really see that. But these are very, very thin, and they just did not survive the packaging very well. Because the package is kind of strange. It kind of squeezes them. It has a bottom on it, see? So it stands up, but it kind of squeezes them at the top. And yeah, the chocolate chips could not survive that. So they're all smashed. So yeah, they probably have to rethink that because the product didn't make it very well. So that would be great if they were all like this. But maybe if they were thicker, the potato would be too overpowering. So maybe that's why they made that choice. They made it for flavor, but yeah, it didn't work. So wow, both very surprisingly good. If you don't have any good thoughts about sweet potatoes, it's probably worth trying a Japanese sweet potato because it's much less sweet and contains a lot of daily fiber. But these are really great. So baked chocolate and salty butter. Neither of them is too strong at all. It's not like a heavy powder coating. It's definitely, the flavor is on the outside, but it's not a heavy powder coating or anything, but really delicious. So uhas, lovely osatsu doki. So if you see these on any of the Japanese snack sites or anywhere, give them a shot. They're really good. Very natural, very subtle flavor, not anything too overpowering. I'm really surprised. I didn't think I would like the chocolate. I thought these would be really horrible. And they're horribly smashed, but they're delicious. So yeah, so good job again. These guys pulled it off. Just they cut these a little too thin to survive transport, but yeah, these are very intact. So yeah, good job. Osatsudoki by Uha. Nice. I like when the snacks go well and I don't have to spit it out. There's only been a few of those. I don't think that's happened too many times. Holy mackerel, it's Matt Robinson. Hey, is it still your birthday? Oh, it just ended, didn't it? You just finished being 35 for the 18th time. Good to see you, Matt. But yeah, some good luck with the sweet potatoes. That's great. Up 6 minutes. Well, happy birthday. It's not even belated. No, it's 6 minutes past. Yeah, right. 6 minutes till. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. With the time difference, it's 5 is your midnight. That's right. Well, happy birthday still. I hope it was nice. I hope it was a fun day. Oh, and are you playing or did you download? Did you purchase? Were you gifted Baldur's Gate 3? I think you mentioned that one of the times we talked. Did you hear the news concerning Baldur's Gate 3? So it's hitting all of the tabletop sites. Yikes. So yeah, Miguel hit me up with it right away. I guess Clownfish TV did a video already. But Larian, the makers of Baldur's Gate, you know, they're not a rich studio, but they are partially owned by Tencent. So if you thought Hasbro sucked as a parent company, wait until you get a load of me. Tencent can't wait to fuck up your hobby. So if you don't know, Tencent is one of the major Chinese. They've got like a 10% stake in like just about everything in the video game world in the U.S. And I'm not sure how heavy they are in mobile. But Larian, the guys that did Baldur's Gate 3, are trying to convince them to buy D&D from Wizards of the Coast. Or I don't know if it's... I've got to read through the details again because I keep... A lot of the headlines are just saying the D&D license or license to D&D, which would make things easier for Larian because they could just... You know, they could make Icewind Dale. They could make a million, you know, official D&D set games with what they're already doing, so their success would be guaranteed for quite a while because, you know, Baldur's Gate 3 had such a good reception. But I wonder what that says for. I mean, if it's in talks right now, but people were suspecting the layoffs and the kind of over publishing of garbage that nobody bought was kind of Wizards' way of prettying up D&D so they could, you know, sell her off to whoever. But Tencent just had you know, they had that weird thing. They came up in the news a couple of times. Had that weird thing with the Communist Party, or the Chinese government made those weird restrictions for. Was it content in games or how you could monetize games, and the stock of all the Chinese game companies like just plummeted 30%, and then they backpedaled on it. So I think it's not going to go through. And then they were involved in something else, but Tencent is not doing great. Oh, that's right. The CEO or whatever just said we've done nothing. Everything that we've purchased in the past year, like 2023, we did nothing with it. So he's really regretting all the kind of acquisition stuff. So that may slow down or make them think twice about D&D. But oof, Chinese D&D. I wonder what that would look like. Because it's going to definitely hurt the inclusivity and stuff, I would think, because I don't think if China is, you know, overseeing it, that they would care. I don't know though, because I'm trying to think. There's so many companies because, like, I think Riot, is it Riot Minds? No, not Riot Minds. Riot Games. The guys that do League of Legends, I think they're completely owned by Tencent. Tencent's got like majority ownership, and I don't think that nothing really changed about that game as far as like, you know, inclusivity or how they portrayed anything or anything kind of political. You don't see the Chinese like hand in that, or the Chinese kind of cultural influence in any of that. So I don't know. So maybe nothing will change, but I can't believe they think they can make money on it. So if this is the case though, if D&D is really up for sale, why the hell doesn't everybody that's making these millions of dollars on Kickstarter just get together? You know, the orc, everybody that's pledged to the orc, just, you know, present this to all of your Kickstarter backers and say, okay, you know, our game, fuck our game. We're buying D&D. And the orc is going to own, everybody affiliated is going to own D&D and be able to do whatever they want with the official, you know, with official license, or, you know, official worlds of D&D. That would be funny. Then you could have multiple. It would be funny because then all of the new systems and everything they're working on would all be D&D anyhow. But what a shitty like 50th birthday. Happy 50th birthday, Dungeons and Dragons. Get on the, you're on the next boat to China. Yeah, it was really weird timing, and really, really, I think that's going to be particularly bad for the hobby because Tencent doesn't give a damn. They just want to make money, so they're going to do whatever. So we're going to see who knows what, D&D nonsense. They're just going to whore that that girl out for whatever they want to do. Yeah, if they're hands off and give it to gamers, that would improve. So if they just said, okay, this is a license, so we're just going to license it, and literally let Paizo. So it's funny because everyone has tried to legally distinguish themselves from D&D now because of the OGL thing. But now if they could license D&D, and so Paizo could be literally D&D. I don't think they would want to throw away all the work they've done on kind of their setting and their IP, but it's hysterical to think that Paizo could literally say, "Oh yeah, we make 3.5 D&D now." So funny. Yeah. Yeah, I think they would easily kill it by making it very, very, very boring. Very lifeless and weird. But it's better than Embracer. But if Tencent doesn't go for it, Embracer is probably next on the on the list. But it would be nice if something cool came out of this, like somebody that never would have done something with old school D&D or something could now have access to this because they just didn't want to deal with Wizards and Hasbro. But what a weird thing for them to do. So Hasbro bought, I don't remember it was like 97 and 99, right? Like Wizards acquired TSR in like 97, and then Hasbro bought Wizards in 99. So it's been 25 years of Hasbro run D&D. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be weird. But that's hysterical. And it's still early stages, but people were suspecting this by the weird layoffs, the weird before Christmas layoffs, like the FU kind of layoffs to a lot of key people like community managers and stuff. That's a weird thing to think is expendable. Yeah. But that would be great if Tencent is like, no, we're going to make this something we can sell in China, and then basically they're just gonna localize the Chinese version all over the world. That'd be great. So it's all like Chinese mythology and history, and they just like totally take it from Eurocentric fantasy to like Chinese historical fantasy. That'd be the best. I want to see that. Yeah, that's funny. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. I think Chris is good, so we should be available. So tune in. Yeah, so Upturned Table on YouTube if you're interested in tabletop and D&D rantings. That's what we'll be discussing. Whoosh. Yeah, right. That'd be great. All the but you could literally, I think there's enough monsters and things in Chinese mythology, and if you combine like some other Asian influences, you could come up with a really rich, because all of the island countries and like Philippines and everything, they have really rich demon and devil and kind of evil spirit and ghosts pantheons. So there's really great that'd be a great monster manual. I'd love to see that a Chinese produced like everything is just replaced with its equivalent. That'd be great. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what if they're just want a piece of it, if they just want to profit from and kind of push it to generate revenue. But the perfect thing that could happen, and the thing that would make D&D pretty amazing virtually, like for a VTT, is if they just trash this stupid thing that they're working on now, whatever, this misguided, not even listening to the players kind of garbage that they're play testing for this VTT, and just handed it over to Larian, at least for the interface and everything, because what Larian did for the roles and things in Baldur's Gate 3 is perfect. It's great. I mean, that aesthetic I think would work really well for a tabletop, and really, high production values and really nice dynamic graphics and stuff. And it didn't look like they were doing that. They were, doing very mild, kind of watered down bullshit for the official one. But what a waste of time. Oh wait, gotta check some time here. Hey. But yeah, weird times. Nobody thought it would go this badly. Oh, well, I'm sure dipshit knew. I can't even think of his name. Kyle Brink knew the whole time. And that's what he meant. He meant we are leaving, so he means straight white men, because it's going to be all Chinese executives now. That's what he meant when he was saying we're leaving the hobby because the hobby is being taken by Chinese communists. Yeah, it's funny. But D&D. Yeah, so what would be the Chinese? What would be the Chinese? I'm sure I won't be able to pronounce it. What would the words be here? All right. And I guess we don't need to do plurals, do we? No, it's not going to let me do it. Of course not. Wow, there's really bad sites out there. Use Dungeons and Dragons in a sentence. Yeah, I guess the brand is so heavy, it's not going to let me separate it from the brand. But whatever it would be in Chinese would be hysterical. Yeah, I guess just Google Translate, right? But yeah, that was really, really funny news. I was surprised. But then again, it's, people jumping on stuff and these things fall apart, especially because, Tencent has just recently said we haven't done anything with our acquisitions. Why are they going to want more than, why would they want more? Do we want simplified or traditional? Oh yeah, I'm not going to be able to say any of this. Yeah, that's right. There we go. Okay, here we go. This is going to be the new title. Once the acquisition goes through. Yeah, I should make a. So that's a direct Google Translate of Dungeons and Dragons. So everyone's going to learn how to pronounce that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's crazy. Nice. Last call. Last call, 2 a.m. Oh, nice. It rolls off the tongue. People will be saying that. Yeah, the kanji is pretty crazy too. And that's the simplified kanji. I can't even imagine in traditional. Oh yeah, let's just take a look. In traditional Chinese, how complicated. Oh no, that's not much worse. The dragon, it's the same It's the same tatsu that they use in Japan. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, it's like something like under house or under something, tunnel thing. Funny. Can't wait. But yeah, so I think we'll be good. So you're ready, Matt, for Blade Runner on Friday night? Should be. Oh, I just saw. Rebellion is they're doing some new they're doing hardcover collections of some of their old series, and I saw Strontium Dog was 50% off. Their first volume was 50% off, but then so it makes it $12 for a hardbound collection of 2000 AD comics, but the shipping was $20. So it doesn't matter if it's discounted or not. It's still too expensive to get here. Darn. Oh, yeah. Have you been reading the adventure? Have you been reading the case file, Matt? Yeah, it's should be interesting. Yeah, there's lots of stuff, and I'm gonna there's something that I want to try to do, and it may not happen. It may be rejected, and if the player that this is happening to rejects it, I'm totally I'm willing to roll with it. But I thought it was something that might be fun to add an extra wrinkle into upcoming events. But yes, watch your back there, Perez. That's all I have to say. Yeah, you guys have got a bunch of clandestine meetings to attend in the beginning of this next day. So it should be fun. Yeah. So on Upturned Table, the Blade Runner. So we'll stream the raw audio and then clean it up and get all my rules mistakes out of the damn audio, so people can enjoy the story without my screw ups. Yeah. See, if someone else would just edit my voice track out of these actual plays, I could get these done really quickly. But it's just so depressing. All the I've taken more and so out of the audio for those game recordings than anything. It's brutal. But I guess it's like, you have to think, you have to be talking and thinking at the same time. So I'm going to have some crutch words and stuff to be able to, keep my brain going while I'm trying to think of what to say next. I should just, yeah. Oh, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's a deadly game, that's for sure. But so far, yeah, the first day you guys avoided all of the deadliness, which was interesting. Yeah. So we'll see. Maybe you'll luck out in your second day and pull stuff off. If Will is going to default to talking people down, maybe you guys will get lucky. We'll see. But yeah, this is going to be the good day because you're going to have to decide if you're going to split up and each of you take on a certain task or go together or hire hire some meat shields to attend you. All right. So excellent. So yeah, let's call it for today. And sorry, this is a bit of a short one. Yeah, the cartoons went real quick because I was maybe because I was in the mindset. I was doing them yesterday to catch up for last week, or not yesterday, day before. So kind of maybe still a little bit in that mindset. So yeah. So when it's just me, when I'm not live streaming, I'm much more direct with the drawings. I don't overthink it. In the stream, I definitely overthink what's going on. But yeah, we'll do this again next week. I think the schedule should handle that, so we should be all good. And yeah, thanks so much. It was good to see you, Matt. Hope you enjoy Baldur's Gate 3. Let me know. That was when I ended up going for the DLC for Cyberpunk 2077 instead of Baldur's Gate, but I'm still tempted. But I would probably play it on a console, and I've heard that there's still huge save file bugs in the version for console. So I don't think I would buy one for console yet until I heard that was all fixed. Yeah, that it was creating giant save files on PlayStation and then not letting you save anymore, and then save files were just disappearing. Especially if the game crashed, it would just delete the save file. So, or corrupt it maybe on Xbox. So that sounded bad. So cool, Baldur's Gate 3. So take care, everyone. And abusecartoons.com is the website. And if you want to read, like when we read the comics, you want to read the archive, gocomics.com/domestic abuse. And thank you to the patrons, both Unknown Girl and John, for backing this whole bunch of nonsense. Patreon is patreon.com/abusecartoons, and then abusecartoons on social media. And I should start Threads accounts and other alternative social media accounts and just post the cartoons out there so people can find it more. I need to build a new group of fun. Little buggy. Are you playing it on a Mac, or are you playing it? What are you playing it on, Matt? Because you're a Mac. Your base stuff is Mac, which I'm sure now, because I'm sure all this stuff works. Yeah, I'm curious. But it's fun. I mean, I don't think any PC games aren't buggy anymore. Especially, I played through the initial release of Cyberpunk, and it was crazy buggy, but it still is a bit. All right. Yes, good luck. Good luck, Countdown. Hang in there with that hangover tomorrow. Hair of the dog. Shower beers are always encouraged if you got to go to work with a hangover. All right, take it easy, everyone, and see you next time. Goodbye.